Alright, we're out here walking in the trail. A little wide forest road. Now it's turned into a skinny trail. But the cart's doing pretty good. The cat's riding pretty good on the back of my backpack. So this cart that I'm using right here, that can handle 260 pounds supposedly. So I mean, I wouldn't want to be pulling 260 pounds through the woods like this, but you could put some pretty decent camping gear in there. Take it anywhere in the forest. I've been pulling it in this trail pretty good. You know, it's a skinny trail. Pulls pretty easy. Got decent ground clearance. I'm not disappointed with it. I like it. It was only $45 for the cart. And it's doing pretty good. Just pulling pretty good. I bought it to carry my gear. I mean, I could have carried it in a backpack, but the dogs get tired, we can put them in the wagon. That's why we got the wagon. Plus we have trails that we walk on back home. They're a lot nicer than this trail, but it's kind of a rough trail, but it's a good test for the wagon. It's doing a good job. We had to bug out to the woods. Can't take 260 pounds of gear with us. Plus what we carry on our back. Our backpack. So good work. You just gotta have options, folks. Gotta have options. Now, a nice handle, pretty strong. So I'm happy. It's working good. And it comes over these small roots pretty easy. It's got some lime rock. I like watching stories about World War II and those that being persecuted and those that had to flee into the forest. There was one family or group, a town of Jewish people in Ukraine that fled to a cave and survived a long time. 500 days or something like that in a cave, and they were discovered at one time, and it's a shame, but people are ruthless, evil. Just like we saw during the pandemic, how government became tyrannical in a drop of a hat. So you got to prepare for stuff like that. You know, as a Christian, we know one day they're going to issue the mark of the beast. And think about all the debt that's never going to be repaid. And when that system collapses, the only way you're going to be able to buy and sell is if you take the government mark, because they have a monopoly right now on the fiat currency. There's gold and silver, but once they collapse the financial system, everybody on Social Security or welfare, in order to get your benefits, you're going to have to take the mark of the beast. And if you have gold and silver, yeah, you'd be able to trade in a black market, but you're not going to be able to go to Walmart and Kroger's, places like that, to buy your food, because you know, they'll just report you to the government. They might be able to deal with some farmers, but that's it. They're coming down into a little gully. A little bit of water. But this thing tracks pretty good. There's that creek, boy. Look at that big old creek. I know when the rainy season's here, that thing's probably flowing pretty good. But some winter time is dry, usually. Sometimes, not all the time. He didn't want to cross it. So you don't have to live off the land if you're a Christian. You're going to have to find a black market, an underground economy, and if you have gold and silver, maybe some ammo, you'll be able to trade. But the government will have complete control over all the monetary system, complete monetary system, except for those that are choose to go underground and go off grid. So, because you ain't gonna be able to buy gas, all right, to travel. You may be able to barter with some gas. You have some gold and silver and maybe some ammo, but you're gonna have to renew your tags eventually. The government ain't gonna take your gold and silver. All right. So, gotta think about these things, folks. Gotta think about these things. How are you gonna survive when the mark of the beast comes out? Huh? So, I got me a branch tied to my dragging it back, little branch. How are you going to survive, folks? Are you thinking about it? I'm 62 years old, man, and I'm tromping around in the woods. Got to get yourself healthy, because you're going to need the medical system. If you're not, you won't be able to use it unless you got mark of the beast. The best I can estimate from the book of Revelation, that persecution period, that tribulation period, is only going to last about 3 years. So, hopefully there'll be so much chaos in the world right now that the enemy won't focus on Christians fleeing to the wilderness, but having to deal with all the lawlessness that will be taking place in the cities. I don't know. I don't know what the Lord has in store. I just know what's in the book. And if my interpretation is wrong, hallelujah. That's a good thing. Not a bad thing, but if I'm reading it right, you better prepare. You better get in shape. You better, because listen, the United States is going down, folks. We've become Babylon the Great. I've preached a message about this. YouTube doesn't like it to get out because it makes people think. YouTube don't want people to be thinkers. They just want people to be zombies. They're not interested in a small fry like me. I'm not going to organize no militia or any resistance. I'm just going to be a survivalist. I'm going to hide. All I'm interested in doing, hiding till Jesus comes. Surviving the persecution. The tribulation period, same thing. That's what tribulation means, persecution. I explained all this in my other videos. So, now this is not the place that I would be bugging out to, I guarantee you that. There's quite a few people that walk this trail, believe it or not. But it's a good place to practice some skills, test some equipment. Trail's starting to open up a little bit right here. We're going uphill. Slow incline. You want me to go first? I might get lost, Mary. You're the scout leading the pack. So do you think you could pull a cart through the woods with 260 pounds in it? Plus a rucksack on your back, some kind? That's what you got to ask yourself if you're going to be a survivalist. You can carry enough supplies to last for 3 years in the forest. Could you cache some of that stuff? Huh? That's the way to do it. You got some caches ready to go? I do. We're at the end. You pass that on the way down. What? You gotta go that way.
The bench?
Yeah.
There's more than one bench.
Babe, that's the bench that we passed. Just remember that rock next to it? Not all the benches have rocks next to them.
I know, that one back there had two in the front like this. Notice that?
Which the first, the big one that we went to?